In this module, we'll be looking at UI testing. The goal here of this video is to be able to have you understand and explain the purpose of UI testing, why we would even want to use UI testing at all, or what it is in the first place. So, for example, we've all done manual testing where we want to test some feature. For example, like we're going to look at in these videos this Classmates project here. So this is the project that you made on the very first day. It's just a simple master detail project where there is a table view controller with a list of classmates and a detail view controller where you're able to fill in the user's or your classmate's favorite name, favorite color, or sorry, their favorite name, their name, their favorite color, and their favorite app, and save that, and then be able to view them again. So the whole we've all done this manual testing where we pull up the simulator, we have to wait for the simulator to show up, and it's going to take a few seconds the first time that we pull it up. And once it's up, we have to actually go through the process of hitting this plus button and giving some information and saving it, and then we're able to verify that that exists and it all works. This can be fine. I mean, manual testing is fine. It's not a bad thing to do. But there is a better way to do it, and that would be UI testing. So what UI testing will allow us to do is basically run through the same process of acting like we are actually tapping on the cell to view the classmate, or going to this detail screen and adding some information in here, and we're able to then verify it kind of like you would with a unit test to see did this work, or for example, does this button even exist? It can get a little bit more complicated, as this is just kind of a simple app, but as we're navigating and stuff, we need to make sure that things exist, and when we create a new classmate, that we verify that it saved all the information, and so on. So manual testing might not seem like too big of a deal, just to go ahead and test your app. When you implement that feature, you test it and you make sure it works. But progressively, as your app gets larger and larger, this can become quite a pain to be able to run through every feature of your app and make sure that when you implement a new feature, it doesn't break the old feature, and so on. And so that's where UI tests can be really, really helpful. They're more of like an integration test rather than a unit test would be, where a unit test is just sort of testing a very small chunk of your code. The UI tests are generally there to test larger sort of integration between features of the app. For example, tapping on this cell, does the prepare for segue pass this information, and is this information being shown? So you will generally want to test, sort of larger overall features of the app rather than just small methods to make sure that it returns or gets the right value, or whatever that can be. So in the next videos, we'll be looking at how to create UI tests that are both effective and without having to take up a ton of your time. Traditionally, a lot of iOS developers don't like to use UI tests because they think they're cumbersome and they're a pain. But we'll show you how to make really nice UI tests that really, once you do a little bit of setup, it's very easy to continue creating UI tests.